Mr. Joram Bitamanya, our leader in Fort Portal City. I'll later be joined by a team from Ayam, and then I've been sent to address you on about two issues. The first, where as the FDC want to extend our condolences to the family and relatives of the many Ugandans who died in Somalia after the attack, as they were attacked by the Al-Shabaab. While we recognize the importance of the UPDF deployment in Somalia to the restoration of peace and stability in the region, we are also concerned by the absence of a clear exit strategy or plan. As aware that it is crucial that Somalia is empowered to govern its own affairs, and the peacekeeping force should not be perceived as an occupation force. As aware that we've spent more than a decade in Somalia, which makes us a little be seen as entangling in the affairs of Somalia. Today we are all aware that Somalia is a monolithic country whereby they have, would say, single religion, almost a single tribe, they speak the same language, and therefore the issues in Somalia are seen to be more than political. Those are followed the conflict in Somalia that has been here for more than 3 decades. You must be aware it came as a result of the ousting of who used to call himself Field Marshal Siad Barre, the dictator then, who had become Somalia and Somalia had become himself. When he was ousted, we are all aware that eventually the institutions of the state had been broken. So those who ousted him found it very hard to bring together the country. So since then, the warring parties started fighting. Whoever wanted power, they fought. We would see many people coming in and the rest. And then eventually, it became a hub of terrorism. So in that kind of situation, Uganda found themselves as always being ready to give a hand. In giving a hand as peacekeepers, today we are seen as enemies. Because the longer you stay, you find yourself taking sides. As you are aware, it is Uganda that has been training the Somali army. So the enemies of the Somali army see Uganda as a country with a side. So in such a situation, we are bound to lose many, many lives in Somalia. And then it was catalyzed by the statement of General Museveni, when he talked about the corruption. And the way he spoke about it, you had a feeling that he knew about it, not learning of it like in a day or two. That the soldiers second there, pay their way, and therefore it is the dollars of the UN that entice many of our young men to go to Somalia. He gave examples of cooks, messengers, secretaries. So whoever wants money is taken to Somalia. That tells you of a serious problem that is in this country, whereby corruption has become a cancer at level 4, covering the whole body of Uganda, that nothing can never happen without money exchanging hands. Today, if we are to follow the reports, if you hear 137 soldiers, we are talking about 137 families. We are going to talk about thousands of beneficiaries who have lost their relatives. So we think this must be addressed immediately. For we have seen even those are in the police, those deployed to guard lucrative water institutions where there is a lot of money, they pay. People pay for promotions. So Uganda is a pay as you go. So you want something, you pay. If you don't pay, you don't get anything. Now we have paid for it in as far as blood is concerned. I don't know how the scene will look like when the bodies are carried, 100 plus are carried and brought back to Uganda. A similar situation happened in France, when Napoleon sent a similar army, which then says that that kind of army, actually about 600 of them, and almost most of them were killed in the Russian campaign. When they were killed, they said that on coming back, almost every family was mourning. So now we would be hearing the numbers when actually all of us have a relative that has died there. So you will see about 130 districts mourning. So this must also tell us of the problem that is in Somalia, which I see in Sudan, which I see coming in Uganda. That when dictatorship gets entrenched in a country and the leader spends in power for more than these so many years, it affects the politics, it affects the economy, it affects the institutions. So that at the end of the day, when they leave, that is where such countries go. What we are seeing in Somalia, we saw a General Bashir of more than 20 years in power. We know Uganda is trying to hold Equatorial Guinea. We know what is happening in Chad. You are aware what is in the DRC after the many years of Mobutu Sese Seko in power. So as a country, we must sit and reflect that as we are trying to help other countries, we must work towards stopping a similar situation happening in this country. To pray for the deceased and pray that God receives their souls and they should be the last to die in Somalia. That Uganda has been instrumental in those many expeditions, but the benefits to the people of Uganda are very minimal. The Somalis take a lot of Mairunji, but the Mairunji come from Kenya. Kenya, who are actually hesitant to take troops there. We've invested a lot of blood. We invested a lot of blood in Congo. Today you hear Kenyan banks entering the market in Congo. We did the same in Sudan. Most of the investments are taken by Kenyans. Countries like the US and the UK developed because of this. They would go in such wars and made sure that their countries benefit. So Parliament must sit and discuss such issues. That as we go, yes, we are helping. What is the benefit to the people of Uganda? That benefit, so that as we bury, we know the children and grandchildren of our people who have died should never look for where to sleep, should never look for food, should never look for clothes. But we cannot have orphans who they ask, why did your father die? They can't tell. So seriously, as a country, if the individuals benefiting as individuals, we must see to it that such situations, such campaigns, expeditions are a benefit to the people of Uganda. As I told you, when you come and two people are fighting, or if you're a guest at somebody's home, and you don't indicate that you are about to leave, it causes a crisis. The first day, you are welcome. The second day, okay, after 4 days, they want to go with you in the garden. If they are preparing chicken and milk, they are suffering to give it to you. But after some neighbors say, when is this guy going? You'll even see kids teasing you. So the time we've been there, you know, those fighting must be seen, that there's nothing special that we're interested in Somalia. Because today, we are seen as an occupational force, which is very dangerous. We are seen as a force that is sided on one side, which is very dangerous. We must be seen that we came to help you. If you don't want to help, you can even go. There they can even beg you, please don't go. But when they see you planning, not about to leave, bringing everything, you had one shot, you are buying the second one, the third one, it will cause a serious crisis. You've seen how the US has been doing it, exiting in Iraq, exiting in Afghanistan. They say now you have reduced the army, not bringing others. But when they see you putting more troops, and the statement of Mr. Museveni, I think was very bitter. That was not a statement that was to go to the public. It should have been we putting into the public that there is corruption in the deployments. So a Somali who listens to him and say, "Oh, kumbe, there's a lot of benefits for those who come to Somalia. They're not actually coming for peacekeeping." It becomes dangerous. So as a party, are those interested in this country, we must show them a plan that, guys, if you don't want to fix us, and as I said, we must even invite other countries with bigger armies than Uganda. Nigeria has a huge army, which is more than a million, I think about 1 million or so soldiers. Can they bring a folk from West Africa who are not even near the region? Invite South Africa. Invite Egypt. Invite Saudi Arabia. Friended with the president who is in power, who are actually protecting the person who is in power. A peacekeeping force must not be suspected to be sided. It must not. And that's where we are. The FDC expressed deep concern over the content harassment and arrest of our members by authorities. It is alarming to witness the unjust treatment of individuals who are merely exercising their right to freedom of speech and expression of their concern about the injustice prevalent in our country. Most recently, you watched what was happening in Soroti City, where the Soroti City woman MP, Honorable Joanna Alobo, was arrested, her supporters mistreated, as we're trying to raise an alarm about the escalating prices of commodities. The inflation is pinching, people cannot make ends meet, but the mayor talking about it has caused her arrests. Our colleague that is standing beside me, Joram has been a long-time leader of the FDC in Fort Portal, in Kabarole, now Fort Portal City. A leader at the district, and now a former leader at the district council, and now our chairman in the city. Joram was a friend of Private Wilson Sabit. He went to mourn his colleague, but as a leader spoke about the plight of the people of Toro, who have supported the NRM with votes of about 90+%. But the dividends cannot be seen. All of you covered the home of Private Sabit, a very poor family. A private was a breadwinner, not a general, a breadwinner. He was almost a celebrity because he was only seen as one of the people who would earn. You'd hear him helping the church, paying for orphans and the like. But when Joram came to address those very issues, and all of you heard that what he was saying was actually in the mind of our people. They have been hunting him, harassing him, and actually making life very hard for him to keep there, because they believe Toro is almost their own, but a cow they don't feed. But that cow is not allowed to cry. So I want to invite him to tell you of the situation that is